We are going to be talking about the week. The week being the 27th of May, 2023.
You know what I mean.
Welcome everybody to another edition of Push to Talk.
Why am I black? Why am I black?
I mean I don't know your ethnicity.
Dude, that's not for us to answer.
I don't know why. Hang on, let me.
Where's my camera feed, ding dong?
Okay, your camera feed went a bit weird.
But
don't worry.
You should turn the light on. It's a bit dark.
Yeah.
I like Sothersills. His network is not connected. That's the most beautiful one.
He's still dialing.
He's still dialing in.
That might or might
He's,
not be the reason I'm not on camera today.
He's like 12. Sothersills like 1200 baud.
Oh, there's your light. You turned the light on. You must have moved. Your lights are like based on movement.
No, I had to restart my camera because it went to my non-filtered background. Right.
Right. Okay.
Nah, he's connecting with a pretty nice Sixel 31200 BPS. It's fine. He might even be able to get 120p video.
33.6 is what you're talking about.
Good old 120p.
By the way, good afternoon to everyone. It is what the hell is the date?
It's the 27th of... Is it the 27th? Yes, the 27th of May.
Yes.
27th of May in the U.S. is Memorial Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
A 3-day weekend for all of us.
Of May in most of the world.
So it's the 27th of May in everywhere except for America, where it's May 27th.
Yeah.
That's
By the way,
It's also a
3-day.
It's also a 3-day weekend in most of Europe as well.
Mm-hmm.
No,
really?
No, Mac. It's not the 27th of May everywhere except America.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some places it's the 28th.
Some places it's 28th already. So.
Oh God, let's not go through this.
Anyway,
let's not be.
Zones, man.
I mean, I know we're pedantic. But like, please, God.
Is this where we start talking about the half-hour time zones?
Well, just
I would like to.
I had not brought those
zones.
Yeah, we don't even know the date, Sadis. I mean, that's just how we... By the way, I have an excuse for not knowing the date, so... But hey, we are joined today by a plethora of co-hosts. We have Arendis, Caleb, Don, who's at a graduation party, Dirk, Sothersill, McLeod, Wibla, and of course myself, Eric. So,
how
by the way,
many does it take to get to
McLeod is in the driver's seat, so thank you, McLeod. That's awesome. I appreciate it.
No worries, my friend. No worries. Sorry, I was a little bit late. I had a literal 30-second before live panic that I had to address. Thank you very much for that, Eric.
Oh, no worries, brother.
But yeah. Unfortunately, Dawn is here, so the Dawn rule applies. If anybody is new to the show, the Dawn rule is in effect, and that basically means that we don't get to talk about
Mac. So
what's up?
You had a panic, but the problem is that there's no disco ball in the background. So
disco ball.
Yeah, you're not really panning at the disco.
No.
We need to do a warning before you do that stuff.
I mean,
German comedy incoming.
You're not a dad, but you're working on your dad jokes already.
We've been learning Japanese.
Was that actually
We've been
comedy?
panicking at the disco.
It is in Germany, Arendis. It is in Germany.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, dear Lord.
Where's that soundboard? Bart Ghost, why are you not here? We need the soundboard.
Yes,
we need the clown car, and we need the badumtish and all that
Dawn
stuff.
logged out to avoid the Dawn rule.
Oh, okay, so the Dawn rule is now not in effect. We can talk about it.
Don't we just reset the counter when she comes back?
Yeah, don't tell her that.
I have a question. Who is John Calico? Because somebody said it's the only reason that they watch, but who is it?
I have no idea.
He's one of the breaking news commentators on INN.
Okay.
Okay.
So when there's big fights and stuff, John drops on to help talk about what the hell is going on
John,
and break it down for people.
Yeah. No, John's cool. John is cool.
He's never been on our show. So, yeah.
He should be on our
How
show.
cool can he be?
He'd fit on our show. He'd fit perfectly fine on our show. He's got a,
Oh, I'm sure.
sarcastic sense of humor. He understands, irony and all that.
I thought all calicos are female.
Just most.
Right, so say this. We invite people when we have like a plan for the show. Otherwise, people kind of have to come and
Which
talk
is
to
why
us and just say,
never any invitations.
"Hey, that's not true." We had Mark Resurrectus on like just the other month.
Typically,
Was
most
that planned,
people.
though?
Yes,
It actually was.
I specifically went and asked him to come on the show.
But now that he has
Damn
been
it,
on the
Salt,
show,
shush.
he has access to the show, and much like other people who have been on the show now have access to the show, they can drop by anytime they like. Well, I mean, if they drop by when we're not on, that's kind of pointless to some degree. We can still talk. We can still jump in and have a chat. Yeah, exactly. But like, they would if they want to be on the show, they could always jump in.
Okay.
Let's
So
be fair, right? When you're talking plan, when it comes to the Imperium always only have a plan to have a plan. It's very similar to British politics, Mark.
hey,
Don't even go there,
man.
man. Don't even go there.
I have to address
Not
Sadis
today.
Here, okay?
Mhm,
Guys, I
Eric.
have to address
free.
Sadis here, right? Sadis, you only have staff rules on the Discord. If you want to be on the show, just pop it in the freaking channel and you're on, baby. You're invited all the time. You're one of those people with the forever staff rules.
Mm-hmm.
How about that one, everybody?
That scares me.
I know it does, doesn't it?
Sadis having forever stuff.
Art Reynolds, you have the golden ticket, baby.
He's got a golden something.
That's what she said last night. Oh,
dear. I'd like to take this moment to thank both Sothrasil and Candu SI for Prime subs.
Oh yeah, Amazon was like, "Hey, do you want Prime for another week for 90 cents?" And I was like, "Yeah,
Why not?
I mean, Prime only costs me like £8 a month, so I don't know. That's only like a 50% discount or whatever.
yeah," but I wasn't using it, and I actually wanted to order something from Amazon.
Yeah.
So I was like, might as well,
Well, I mean, I did get a few things from Amazon as well.
Like the decision was either pay $5 for shipping or pay 90 cents for a week of Prime and then cancel it 2 days later.
See, this is why I just maintain my Prime, because like, yeah, sure, I don't use it all the time, but when I do want to use it to get like something next day delivered or whatever, it's super useful to just have it there, ready to go. I admit I'm paying for the convenience, but I'm happy to pay for that particular convenience.
I mean, sure. Like, if you're actually using it, the thing is though, I rarely buy things on Amazon, so
I mean,
it's not really worth it.
When we get to the food section of the show, like I did buy I think it was like
You bought food from Amazon.
2 things from Amazon, food related, because I literally can't get it. Like I couldn't find it in any of the supermarkets here. So
Yeah, fair.
actually 3 to be fair.
Beef jerky and Marmite.
One I could have technically
Beef
gotten.
jerky.
One I could technically have gotten because I was looking for dark soy sauce, but like super premium dark soy sauce, but I couldn't find it. Like actually like a decent one, so I had to get that as well.
You can't get dark soy sauce in the UK?
But like super premium dark soy sauce.
I have food being delivered today from Amazon.
I mean, if we want to
cheddar cheese crisps, and you ready for this? Chicken skin chips.
Dude, those things are. Which ones did you get?
I got the flock ones.
So
ones?
Just
You got
regular,
the full-
original flavor, not.
You got the flock chicken skin chips.
Yep.
So it's from more than one bird. That's lucky. Otherwise, it would be a very small bag.
I don't think you need to have. You don't need to have a joke for that. That is the joke.
So
horrendous.
That's basically like.
Well, I haven't dealt with flock, but yeah, no, they tend to be.
Horrendous finds herding chickens too much of a task.
I have 8 1-ounce bags coming, so.
But you don't know if they're good, but you ordered 8 bags.
Like I do have to ask if when they arrive, do they actually arrive in formation, like in a V shape? Like,
you know what? If it's anything like the picture on Amazon, it looks like a potential V shape here on the. Yeah, I think they're ready to go.
oh, okay.
No, they're just 1 ounce, individual packs. I'm just checking them out.
I mean, I knew there was a joke in there somewhere. I had to find it.
There is. I don't know. That's good.
But by the way, if you're goon rushing Amazon, pork scratchings are awesome, and I know a lot of Americans don't have a clue what that is.
So, I mean, I said that I didn't want to. I wasn't attempting to drag it into the sort of food side of the show already, but like apparently we're there, right? So I might as well say
get there somewhere.
I mean, I might as well say. So well, I obviously said the one thing that I got, which was like dark soy sauce, like premium dark soy sauce, like almost treacly in terms of like thickness, kind of thing, right? Like
most people are just happy to go with Kikkoman.
Yeah,
Mac.
Yeah.
Why are you getting all fancy on us?
Well, it's because I had the one that was in the sort of like the proper pouring thing, and it was just like I wanted to find that again, but I couldn't find it, and so I ended up.
Oh, you mean the pouring thing that comes out either side, right? The little lid.
Yeah. But there's like one that's super premium. But like, there's that.
We got a Kikkoman one of those, and then we just buy the big giant Kikkoman and keep refilling the little one.
Okay.
We like.
I'll probably refill the one that I have, but like, yeah. So that I ended up getting some chili crisp. If anybody knows what chili crisp is, like chili crisp oil, it's basically like a sort of like it's like a condiment sort of thing over in China. It's like it's sort of chilies and
chilies and
various
oil.
Chilies, oil, various other different things, kind of like in there, sort of thing. It's it's used in like side dishes and stuff like that, right? And the other thing is, and you'll probably find this kind of crazy that like you can't find this just in the normal supermarkets here in the UK, but in the US I think it's pretty easy. You can find it, but like chilies in chilies in adobo sauce.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, you can't find it.
Yeah, that one's like Asian supermarket kind of.
Yeah, you have to go to like
kind of specialty place.
Yeah, but like
sort of thing, yeah.
that's fine if you live close to a kind of a high population center, or but apparently Cambridge isn't high population center enough for that.
There's an Asian market down on Mill Road.
I might have to go look for that then.
There you go.
All right. I'll go look for that. But like, it was just one of those things that was a lot easier.
Mac doesn't live in Cambridge, so
I literally have to.
I can
drive.
I can forgive him for not knowing that.
I'd literally have to drive half an hour in to actually go there. Yeah. So.
Oh, wasn't there also talk earlier about the city that MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology?
Oh no, that was to do with ducks. That was
and the largest rubber duck store or something in the world.
Well, it was we as Europeans were being lambasted as having like for this weird kind of thing about having like rubber duck stores that we can go and buy them, but apparently you guys have the largest in the world, so you can't.
Yes, they do. We're talking about Americans.
Yeah,
it always has to be bigger.
Do you realize we have rubber duck races, right?
I mean, isn't that just like, just chuck it into the stream and watch it go? Like it's like marble races, basically, right?
That's like playing acoustics.
But like giant rivers.
I got that. I'm glad somebody got.
Like the Ohio River. Like throw a bunch of ducks in, wins. I mean, it's amazing. Yep. 10,000 of them into a river. Who wins?
It also plays a vital role in climate science because
strangely
of an
enough
accident that happened where
an entire
thousands and thousands of rubber ducks were spilled in the oceans.
Yeah, it was.
And then they did a science program where they tracked them and got all the ocean currents of the entire planet.
Yeah, they knew where the actual accident happened, where an entire container full of rubber ducks just got smashed open and all of them like went everywhere. But yeah, they're still apparently washing up on beaches.
Yep, that
all around
and feet, right? Severed feet up by Alaska, I think it was.
I haven't heard that one. That was clearly the horror sort of like
what the hell are rubber
that.
ducks doing severing feet?
We don't know.
Those damn
Oh god. I've heard ducks were bad, but like that's a new one. That's a new aspect. That's a new thing in there.
It's related, right? They kept finding severed feet on the beach area up by Alaska, and it seems to be that because of the currents, anything that is dislodged of corpses at sea out in the Pacific seems to then just go on that gyro and then go all the way up and land at exactly that coast. So they're very relevant.
Caleb, they're all coming from frickin' Russia. You can see Russia from Alaska.
That is true. You can.
Either that or, as Seda says, Carol Baskins is hanging out up there doing her survival campaign.
I just need to let people know that if somebody requests feet pics from you, like, it's not okay. Like, firstly, like, requesting feet pics to somebody who doesn't do feet pics is not okay to start off with. But it's doubly not okay to go and sever other people's feet and take pictures of that.
Oh, hold on. We know who is doing it then. It's got to be Wally Martz.
Oh my god.
He's back and he's still posting.
We do not believe that Wally Martz is severing people's feet. Okay. Do not take that as a... No.
Let's calm the fuck down.
I think most of you guys on the show know, but I don't know if our audience knows, right? So Mrs. Erik sells things on eBay for fun, and I literally say for fun, okay? And some of what she sells are shoes, and the number of times that she has been asked, I will buy the shoes at full price plus a tip if you take a picture of your feet in them, is like weekly. It's a weekly thing. This whole foot thing is a big deal.
People are fucking
not
weird.
kink shaming. Yeah, not kink shaming. I'm just pointing out the kink.
This is the area of like human psyche kind of thing that makes me understand that there is aspects of other people's brains that I will never understand.
And to answer Sadis, no, she doesn't do it. She thinks it's weird, and she will. No, you can buy the shoes from her just fine, but you're not getting a picture of her feet.
So, Mac, I know it might be news to you, but it was always so. You might, again, I think I've mentioned it before. You should Google Pan and the She-Goat.
Can I not?
No, that you think that this era particularly is some sort of top level kink. Trust me, it's really not.
It's the equivalent of like going. This is the equivalent of. I feel like this is the equivalent of asking somebody to sort of type into Google, thanks, Smokey.
Really? Oh god. Really? Really, the Victorians were the worst for it. That was like one of the worst eras for kink.
Well, that's mostly because they were the first that had the opportunity to really do good photography, right? It's really when porn started.
Okay.
That's a fair point.
Okay. By the way, I'm going to point out it is now 1:23 U.S. Eastern Time. Dawn rule has expired.
Well, Eric, I know you might be shocked,
I didn't.
But it's just it's always been what drives technology, right? One of the first electrified engines was actually, and steam ones, I believe, was actually used to treat hysteria.
We're just gonna stop while we're ahead.
The treatment of hysteria has always been a bit strange, right? There's always we're not. We are always like scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, and then you have to really appreciate technology, because imagine if you were a doctor and you had to do that manually 5 times a day. That's hard work.
I'm just gonna say,
Someone's got to
based on
do
this
it. Though.
conversation, I wish this was full of vodka right here.
I'm just gonna say this right now, Eric. If you want to quit while we're ahead, it is 24 minutes too late for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't mention the last thing that I got from.
And that's counting the fact that Mac was late.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
I gave you guys like a few minutes to
run away. Yes.
To quit while we were ahead, but you didn't.
No.
I just really the best thing about this entire show is that it's a little bit like classic Freudian association stuff, where you start by talking about chicken chips, right?
Some innocuous topic.
And then feet, and then feet, unsolicited feet pics, and then you end up about hysteria treatment in the Middle Ages and the Victorian Age. It's just really a natural flow of things. Right?
Hold it. At least 2/3 of those topics, Caleb, were just you.
I just bring.
As soon as you get to the kinks in the Victorian, as soon as you get to kinks in the Victorian age, everything from there to feet pics is you.
I didn't mention feet pics. That was Eric. I am innocent in this.
You are so not innocent.
No, there's
using the show as his Freudian outlet. Okay.
Of all the people here, you're the least innocent here, Caleb.
At this point,
that's just in general.
And Caleb,
it was not
Caleb.
Me, it was Eric that talked about feet pics.
Caleb, here is the absolute proof that you can never be considered innocent in any of these fucking conversations. All right?
He's from Europe.
What is it you study in college? At university?
I
Go on.
Jesus, and Jesus died for our sins, and I'm making sure that he's getting banged for his buck.
So now you're making sure Jesus got banged.
Yeah, if he died for your sins, you didn't sin. Yeah, you made him look like a real dick.
Exactly. So I'm really giving him back value for his money.
Then we can then clearly you're not innocent.
No.
I am once you get absolution, which is everything, you can get absolution for everything. That means that as soon as you get that, you're innocent. So sure, okay, I'm not maybe innocent now because I've.
But you're planning to be. But you're planning to be.
Who did we just lose?
After the show, and I will tell him what was on the show, and he will give me absolution.
I'm pretty sure.
Caleb will be pure and clean of sin for all of about 5 minutes after that conversation.
You mean seconds?
Wow,
All right,
and black and something. Hello, Pot.
I'll just point out we did ping out dreads.
We did.
Dreads.
We did.
Yes, so time to talk about the Valraven.
And so now it is time to stop talking about how much we dread Caleb trying to be innocent, and get on and talk about the attack dreadnoughts.
Oh yes, the attack
Valraven.
Yeah, the Valraven.
You're pronouncing that really wrong.
I am intentionally pronouncing that wrong.
Let me give this to the specialist who can tell you how to pronounce the new Minmatar Dread. Arendis?
That's Nagelnado.
Nagelnado.
It carries a gun bigger than its hull size.
And it's vertical.
Sort
That's
of
why I
every
said
man,
vertical, yes.
sort of every man's dream of a ship, huh?
So it's the biggest tornado yet. Now we just need one at destroyer size.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we might as well.
That would be one hell of a thrasher.
And I just want to say that I'm looking forward to the directive from Asher that everyone has to get a T2 Galente dreadnought.
Why a
Galente one?
Because he has
Why
way
Galente?
too much fun saying hubris.
It's not even pronounced that way.
It is by Al Sharpton, and that's good enough for Asher.
It's Hubry. It's Hubry. With the
No.
you have to roll the R.
No,
Hubry.
no,
It's,
no,
yeah.
no.
It's like debris.
It's like
it's-
debris, but Hubry.
You have to
okay?
you have to properly. Look,
Hubry.
I admit I toned it
Hubry.
down there. To pronounce it properly, you have to really put some oomph into that first syllable. It's hubris.
Ubris.
6-6.
No, you're
Oh,
missing
dear.
the H sound there, Soth. You really
Yeah,
need
you're
to give it
missing
the
the H sound.
H.
Hubris.
Ubris.
Hubris.
Who breeze?
I'm gonna see if I can transition and show the actual the actual thing while we carry on talking about it on the screen.
We just
but yeah.
Go.
Purpose.
Oh look, Dawn's here. I guess that means we got to
Dawn's
invoke the Dawn rule now.
Oh, Dawn rule now applies. Okay, right. Back it up, boys. Back it up. Back to the regular stuff.
Hold on. Mac, I think you deserve a round of applause for that.
What?
That was pretty clean.
No, was that pretty clean? I was hoping that I didn't fuck up the mic or the Discord kind of volume or anything.
Good.
So that's okay.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, we'll see.
You need to warn chat when you do something like this. This kind of new tech with transitions and shit, they're gonna get confused.
So, we've come
Next
from
it's gonna
being
be
in the 90s.
Hey, it's
To the early
so
2010s.
guys,
Max running the
people can
show.
calm the fuck down. It's fine, right? Like,
When Eric is running the show again, we will be back to our standard operating procedure.
yeah.
Where
So-
we're half a step above text-based.
So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, essentially. So the four kind of new T2 dreadnoughts are called the Barney. The how is it pronounced? The K-Ru-Ray?
Close enough.
Arua?
K-Ru-Ray? Yeah, the K-Ru-Ray.
Well, it's Japanese, so it's probably more Karura.
Karura?
Karura.
Karura?
I don't know. I don't speak
Okay.
Japanese.
That totally did not sound at all
I mean,
Japanese.
it would be 2-letter syllables.
And I think we need to go to specifically to Horrendous for the next one.
Guess
Which-
the wrong vowel. Is that
Which
what we're
one's
playing
that?
now?
Is that Galente or
Yeah, the
Minotaur?
Galente one.
The hubris.
You know, by the way,
Hubris.
if we could only add a C on the end of that, that would be a much cooler ship.
Hubrisk.
Yeah.
Hebrisk.
But we know Hubrisk.
And this one is for Eric. I think Eric should do this one.
Brisk Rubal.
No, I don't even want to try.
This is the Valray.
Looks cool though.
And the Valray.
It's probably a silent V, right?
No, it's
No, it's a
actually
silent
pronounced-
E.
It's
Where's the
pronounced,
fucking E?
it's
Well,
pronounced
you
like a U.
Brits keep saying it as an E. There's no E.
It's the Valraun.
No E.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a U disguised as a V, but realistically,
right, I
it's
see.
Well, that
What-
depends.
what's
On,
the
that depends on if we're
Americans?
having it. That depends on if we're having it pronounced by the Icelandics or the Danish.
My question is, are both the V's used?
no,
Why not?
because language.
Because
Oh, I'll run.
the first one-
Seriously,
run?
seriously, Dirk, you're not allowed to say that because all V's are U's and all U's are V's.
I can tell you because the first one.
Well, some
is,
V's are F's.
They use
Only in
guys.
German. Only in German.
They use guys. Sorry.
This is where you're going to tell me that Y is a vowel.
Why not?
It is if you pronounce it as E.
All right, Dirk. All right, Dirk. I've got a good one
welcome
for you.
to
If Y is not a vowel, if Y is not a vowel, I want you to try and tell me what the vowel is and try.
Welcome to Semantics O'Clock.
So anyway, dreadnoughts.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, that is not a vowel if it's old enough in English to be a T.
So the Amara dread.
The Bonnet, yes.
It has an interesting feature whereas it uses missiles,
Yeah, that's weird.
Other
CCP.
Amar
Still
ships
is.
do use missiles.
which I mean that would be cool. Like actually changing the meta a bit on what weapon system is used on what races or whatever you want to call it.
Well, it's the first Amarr capital to use missiles, but other Amarr ships have used missiles.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Finally,
So they're kind of
Like the
mixing it up.
Finally, I'm
the
not
Sap or
damaged.
something.
Finally, I'm not
the ship
damage
that nobody
locked on
ever
Amarr.
uses.
Is what I'm saying. Finally, I'm not damage locked on Amarr.
What I find weird is that they did this on one dread and the others are just by the book.
No, that's not true, actually, because the Caldari Dreadnought uses hybrids.
Oh, the Haruha?
Hybrids on Caldari. How unusual.
What? Again, we're talking
on
about
capitals, yeah.
Capitals, yeah. First capital to use guns on a Caldari capital ship.
Yeah.
Like,
but then they haven't put any effort into the Minmatar or
half of them are unusual, and the other half are by the books. Like,
yes,
why not go the full way? Why not put lasers on Minmatar, for example?
This is where they would have had to turn
we don't need that cheesy stuff
into a drone, into like a fighter carrier at this point.
Yeah. You turn it into a drone boat.
Yeah.
I said it. Capital sentries. Give them that. I mean, it would work.
And the Minmatar would then have to have gone to missiles as well.
No. I will give you a very simple reason why the hubris cannot be carrying like capital scale sentry drones. Dawn is the reason.
Oh, God damn it, Dawn.
Yeah.
Because she'd load excavators and just sit one of those in the belt watching over the miners.
You know what? You say that is honestly probably why. Yeah,
but that would be hilarious. So they should have let us do it.
It totally would have been hilarious.
I mean, that's sandbox, right?
Yeah.
Pushing it for the definition of the sandbox, but
no, that's definitely not pushing. You know,
that's exactly what a sandbox looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. True.
Hey, why would
I think CCP just didn't want to get the same problem that they got in the first few years of EVE Online, where everyone was mining in battleships.
You mean where people could actually do things they wanted to do?
You know, back in the day when it was fun.
I'm not going to get baited on this. Then that's the rest of the show.
I mean, you were already baited on it, Caleb. We could make it the rest of the show without you.
You know, the thing is, fully embracing the sandbox nature of EVE Online was how we got armor, ravens. Like, and that was a beautiful thing for a little while. Until we really overdid it.
We still had armor ravens in the Captain's Cups, and that was a few months ago.
Oh, cool. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, we saw some really wacky stuff in that tournament.
You're not kidding.
Artillery abaddons are still a thing. Like, don't you start shit-talking the artillery abaddons, GB. They're still a thing.
I mean, Arty abaddons are just like, they're such a throwback to such an amazing age. Like, I think the pinnacle of that was the I think was it either Red Alliance or Solar Fleet's like triple plated armor abaddons, like Arty abaddons, like.
I think it's safe to say to chat that back in the day, EVE was very sandboxy when it came to actually doing fittings. I think Avengers can sign on this, that you could do things that was so game-breaking that was not even funny.
Well, that was
do you remember Cavalry Ravens?
Well,
I was about to bring them up.
It was prop mods running at a time.
Yeah, it was like, okay, so we put one prop mod on. Hey, why not put 2 or 3?
And I'll put 4.
4.
Why not put 4 and fill the loads with nanos?
It's like, no, but surely they don't all start at the same time, right? They can't be turned on at the same time. Yes, they can. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, the key to it was to like not start them exactly the same time, but start them like one after the other. So you got a little bit of speed, and then you got the extra speed.
So I wasn't around.
And it was
when
very like
I wasn't around. I wasn't playing around with the. When was actually when were Cavalry Ravens? When was that era? Was that era before 2009?
Yeah.
I mean, the last time we saw Cavalry Ravens being used was actually fairly recently, like within the last.
Yes.
I mean, I was going to say
CCP
like,
did a buff to something that brought them back onto.
And Nate used to use them not too long ago. Just after we got
I had experienced the smallest resurgence of Cavalry Ravens when we were running those Raven fleets, right? But that was when we were bushing the entire fleet around,
right?
And at one point, we literally lined up against I think there was an NC capital fleet, and there was like one Rorqual that wasn't inside of a post shield, and we literally turned around 300k from them and just like started firing missiles, and then we just booshed, carried on firing missiles, booshed, carried on firing missiles. And they all landed at the same time, and it would just nuke the entire thing, like from full health to nothing. Like it was.
That was always the point of a Cavalry Raven. Was like you would have a fleet of them, and you would kind of Doppler effect the missiles as you got closer, so that they all landed, or as you got further away. Sorry, and so they would all land at the same time.
Yeah,
as you got closer,
you'd be firing. You'd basically be flying at almost the same speed as the missiles, and so they would all kind of start stacking up as you were kind of like flying towards them.
And then the MJD took the place of that after they put that in.
Yeah. It basically turned the missiles from chunking damage into raw alpha strike.
Yeah, it was just like a massive alpha strike.
Mm-hmm. Kind of terrifying in its way.
Terrifying in its own way. Amazing to experience being part of it, like kind of thing. But yeah.
Oh, sure.
Oh Christ, it was cool. I think I have that somewhere. I have no idea where it is, but I may have to like dig it out. I may have to go and actually like get a hard drive like repaired in order to find it again. But like if I have to, I will.
Barrack 101 makes a good point in Twitch chat as well, that this is also back when firewalling was still relevant.
Yep.
And for those who don't know what firewalling is, it's the use of multiple smart bombs to kill missiles in the air before they can hit the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just be clear here. That was part of the play and counterplay that come of it being a sandbox.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
totally.
People are doing this thing with missiles. You find a way to counter the missiles. It was...
Firewall was frustrating,
and then people found a way to
the fact that it was an option was good stuff.
Yeah.
So, do we want to talk about the special weapons that we can put on these new dreads?
Oh, they do special weapons?
The new lance?
The new lance.
Lankers?
The new
Lankers,
debuffing lance?
The Lankers, yeah. Just a bunch of Lankers.
The lance, yes.
So when you say Lankers, I just my mind just pops into thinking Lankers, which makes it a lot funnier.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I think that was the point.
For a Sino.
So the new Dreadnought Doomsday will not just will do less damage, but
So
it will disable the targets. Anything hit with it disables their warp and jump drives. Tethering and docking is disabled, and there's a 50% penalty to incoming remote repair for 60 seconds. All of that.
So I need clarification on one point, right? Because I think it's something that like a lot of people are kind of getting the wrong end of the stick on this one. Is you say like tethering and docking is disabled, right? But that isn't forcibly like that. Is that like you're tethered at the moment? You get hit. You're in that kind of area of effect.
Well,
the Doomsday.
It's AOE. We don't know.
So
it could go either way. It could be horrifically overpowered.
You might be unable to tether, or it might turn off tether.
Wow.
It's going to be
because it's an AOE, so who the hell knows?
Yeah.
Oh, good point.
Well, you say we're going to have to test it, but that doesn't say whether or not it's supposed to turn off tether.
That is true.
Look, I make a habit of not making assumptions about what CCP think are supposed to happen, and I work on the basis of what they actually push live to tranquility.
There are 3 different questions here, okay? One is, will it turn off tether? The second is it supposed to turn off tether? And the third is, if the answer to 1 is yes and 2 is no, will CCP change that or go, screw it, why not?
Well,
I mean,
there's ample history that implies that they will just go, oh, fuck it, let's send it.
And then, if 3 years down the line, they'll complain that it's too overpowered and that they should never have done this. But no,
not that they've never.
You guys have been having too much fun with that.
Not that they should never have done this, but they never intended it in the first place.
I think you guys are totally thinking in the wrong direction here.
I kind of like the idea of it disabling tether, of it like turning off tether.
This is way too much of a direct effect. Right. Let's remember the last time we had changes to dreads. It was the 50%. Like it was the reduction in remote repair.
The last time we had changes to dreads was the introduction of Navy dreads.
No, I mean changes to how dreads function, because the Navy dreads function the same way, right? The last time we had changes to them was when we had the stacking penalties on reps, which caused dreads to still receive reps even when they are in siege. So you guys are thinking way too direct. Right, I think they will break something completely unrelated to.
Well, it does a 50% reduction to incoming remote repair. So it may wind up giving a bonus to outgoing remote repair.
I mean, it would not surprise me if that was the way they ended up working with the numbers, because they don't know what the numbers mean.
Maybe they accidentally fat finger the newt range when that actually thing occurs, and it actually hits like 3,000 kilometers, something.
So what you're saying is we could end up doomsdaying our own faxes to give them more reps?
Maybe.
I mean, and this is one of those examples of where if CCP launches something that is completely OP broken, and within the first few days they say, oh, but that's how it's intended to work, it will take between 3 and 5 years to roll that shit back. Everyone in this room knows that.
Well, sure.
It takes 3 to 5 years for them to determine.
If they don't say right off that's a mistake, then then they're gonna stick with it for a while.
That's not how that works. They wait for like 5 years and then they go, no, this was not how we ever intended it to be.
No, some random GM goes, this is not how it was intended to be.
And then the GM can't actually do anything about it. So
meanwhile, the actual devs at Eve Meets are going, yeah, no, that was totally the plan.
And so I mean that in and of itself is just a weird, right hand, left hand. There's a brain somewhere in the middle of it, maybe. But
I think it's a natural development if you think about it, right? They don't want to admit that something is completely broken because then they have to fucking fix it. So they leave it and say, okay, let's just try and let them see if they can figure it out. Then they completely forget the horrendous rule that as soon as you have declared something to be allowed and legal, people like Horrendous and friends will break it completely to the point where it becomes an unplayable part of the game.
How did this become the me rule?
Because that's what you do. It's literally your job to, whenever CCP introduces or changes any balances, to figure out how can we break this and make it completely OP.
Nope, that is not my job. I stepped down from that gig like a year and a half ago.
It was his job, in the same way as diplomacy was my job.
I don't have to worry about any of that crap anymore.
I still yell at FCs every now and then.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
but you
just
enjoy
fun.
that.
Besides the fact that everyone in this room is fucking retired from EVE Online, and we're all in that old men's home
No, I'm not
screaming at
retired from
clouds, you
I'm
used
not-
to do that stuff.
I'm
Sorry,
not
is this
retired
the
from
room with
EVE
the
Online.
cigars?
I
I
logged
seem to be
in
missing a
just,
cigar.
yesterday.
This is the room with the colostomy bags and the fucking prune juice.
Oh,
Well,
God.
that sounds like you got a personal
That's a
problem
mental
there.
image. Thank you.
No. I'm still sticking with the. This is supposed to be the room with the cigars. Where is my cigar?
Nurse Hackett will be around
Some of
with
us
your
aren't old
LSD
enough
in a
for that
minute.
yet.
You mean Ratchet?
Nat Sanchez's bringing me LSD. Oh, that will replace the cigar.
Dirk. When you come to the U.S. here, I've got 2 humidors full. It's waiting for you.
Oh, perfect. I am starting to plan a US trip, actually, Eric.
In
So,
his
like,
cigar
yeah.
or what?
There you go. We're eating all the food.
I'm not sure I can manage all the food,
All the food.
but some of the food. I can get through some of the food. Wibbler and I had this conversation last weekend. Like
He'll approach it. He'll approach it like girlfriends approach it. He'll have a bit of yours.
Oh no, I will have my own plate. I just may not make it through the entire thing.
Oh, okay.
We're starting at Waffle House. I'm just saying.
Oh God. Like
Waffle
yeah,
House.
I've got Eric planning Waffle House. I've got Aris planning steak. Bruden is insistent that I will be trying biscuits, like scones and sausage
Biscuits and
sauce
gravy.
with him.
No, biscuits and gravy.
You know, these guys are going to be taking me on a tour of the US at this point.
You mean scones and gravy?
I mean, oh no.
I'm going on all of it. Don't worry, Dark. I've got
it's scones. It's not scones because it's
fine.
stones, not stones. All
Could
right.
be.
Okay, let's not go down that path, McLeod. Please, let's not talk about English spelling.
Yeah, let's
Let's
not.
not.
I mean,
No,
I
no.
before E, except after
Can
C, but then weird.
But
All right, look. I hate to derail this back to actual topic, but like Dredge.
Dredge.
It's like you've forgotten where you are, right?
No, it's not like I've forgotten where I am. It's like, you know, you guys have been trying to keep things on topic.
Horrendous is currently undergoing.
As soon as you guys are the ones derailing, you completely
I'm sorry.
abandon that.
You were the one who
impulse.
mentioned scones.
Horrendous is currently
I did say that. I will
This
admit to
is
saying
his
that.
show now.
But really, Caleb is the one who launched us down this path.
Ladies
I
and
mean,
gentlemen,
that's true.
this is the Horrendous Hurting Cat Show.
Oh.
Um,
Just like, what the fuck? What did I do?
Caleb existed. That's what Caleb did.
I am a fucking walking scapegoat. That's what I am.
Hey, look, everyone else uses me. I'm going to use you.
I think we all just use Caleb.
Where's the Kohen Gadol, and who's gonna fucking kill me or send me into the desert? Come on, just get on.
Oh
get it over
God.
with.
Okay. So anyway, Horrendous, you tried to bring us back to Dreads. What would you like to talk about Dreads?
We were discussing. We were at that point of discussing the Doomsday and talking about how it was working. Yeah, so that.
And then we
start
start speculating on how it would work.
And then Caleb took us into freaking back rooms and colostomy bags, and we went totally sideways. So let's get back to
Right. So what I've heard with the Doomsdays is that they're going to be a third of the damage of like Titan Lancers, and about half the effective distance. Right? Is that correct?
So that's what the thing says. I think.
Yeah, I believe so. Which, fair enough. I think a lot of people are like really confused or concerned as to like, or just don't quite understand or don't get the sort of like the ease of being able to basically sidetrack the whole neutralization effect. Because like I've heard people basically going like, oh well, you're gonna have to like have like 100 different Sino-ins in order to be able to use this effectively. No.
Shut the fuck up, Mac.
No.
That was a jab at me. Shut up.
No, we've done this before.
No, it wasn't a jab at you because I've heard it on I heard it on Theta Thursday as well, and I was just like, this it's fucking easy. It's the equivalent like someone going like, oh,
the new tis.
It's kind of like the equivalent of like people who don't quite understand bombers having to thinking like you have to sort of like line bombers up into sort of like, you know, some weird kind of wacky formation in order for it to be effective. It's like, no.
But Mac,
it sounds like some system.
Bombers don't newt out each other.
No, I know bombers don't newt out each other. But guess what? You don't need to jump in every single ship at the same time.
Right. No. So here's the real like fact of the 100 warpins or whatever. Yes, possibly you do very small squads in multiple different locations so that they don't all newt out each other. Possibly, like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, we have
Does
formations.
anybody remember what we did in FWST?
We have formations. They exist. You can you know, warp a whole bunch of ships in.
Formations will probably be where this plays in well.
The other thing is, right, if for example, you're going to be utilizing this against, say, for example, Skynetting carriers, right, which is probably the most optimal way of being able to utilize this, right? Like that's the kind of like the scenario that I think most people will be looking at these sort of dreads to be able to, you know, to utilize them at a maximum, you know, at its maximum potency, right? You don't drop a whole bunch of dreads in at the same time. You drop a site. You have like say 2 or 3 Cynos in the area, right? You drop a Cyno. You fling a single dread in. That dread sieges, like, you know, aims his lance, sets his lance off, right? As soon as that lance is set off, right? Obviously, you test this a little bit to see, right? To see when the neutralization effect occurs. Once you know when the neutralization effect occurs, the next dread drops in next to it, does the same thing, and then once that dread's neut effect is gone, drop the next one in. And so on and so on.
So you're only muting that which is already fired. Yeah,
exactly.
That plan is awesome and all, but exactly how do you do that in like sub 10% tie-dye when the server is broken as fuck?
You don't.
You either you don't or you like kind of test, or sometimes it's one of those things where you don't know. You just have to try it and see what happens, see what breaks, what doesn't break. You know. Yeah, you know,
but Mac,
sometimes it happens. Sometimes that's just the thing that you have to do. Like,
there is no try, only do.
Oh my god!
Oh boy!
Oh Yoda.
But no, in all seriousness, even if the 100 warpins thing, 100 Cyno positions thing, whatever, like you Cyno them all into the same place, you warp them to a bookmark that is, you know, not bubbled, and then you set them off. Like, that's fine. We did that in FWST a couple times, where we were putting small squads of battleships at, like, literally, we had something like 400 or 500 bookmarks around the FWST Keepstar for the second fight. And was it the second one? Was it the first one? For one of them, anyway. And we just put small squads of ships on each one to keep applying damage while the main fleets were fighting. It's entirely possible. We have done this before. We have managed these logistics before. It is not as if it's a huge, daunting task that nobody knows how we're going to get done.
Yeah,
we tell Recon we want these bookmarks. Recon gets us the bookmarks, and then we do it.
Yeah, if the event is big enough and we have prep time to be able to prep, like, you know, bookmarks here, there, and everywhere, you can bet that we'll do it. Like, I mean, you know, we were doing multi-sided lancing in it, like back when NC Dot still had like pauses in like Cloud Ring and stuff. So like, you know, it's not like this shit hasn't been trialed out in multiple different forms for years. Like,
so I don't disagree with that. But the smaller scale, they're going to be useless though.
Well, no, at the smaller scale, if they actually do disable tethering the way we think they might.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
Okay, yes, that will be the one use.
You drop one, you disable tether on the ships you want to kill, and then you get an actual standard fleet to come in, tackle the thing so it can't tether again, and nuke it.
So,
Like,
so,
yeah, but
the,
you-
so
no,
there's
no,
the,
Right,
well,
that was my ultimate point.
I think there's
you
another
need to
thing.
tackle them. You don't need to tackle them.
I think that's the other thing. I think there's another aspect of it that like we're also overlooking is everyone thinks about the damage application when it comes to a Lance DD, but like that scales with sig radius, but it doesn't say anything whether any of the other effects scale with sig radius. Like you wanna inflict some pain when it comes to sort of
they will.
you want to inflict some pain on a fleet type that like seems to be like really easily and really capable of like repping themselves back up like really fast. Like maybe it might be worthwhile dropping one of those T2 dreads and getting that debuff on that fleet. Because if those effects aren't going to be scaling with sig radius, then that could be quite powerful on subcaps anyway.
I mean, there's a couple comments in Twitch chat from Twisted, who says that on testing, the Lance didn't even get through a Navy Rev's shield, which is interesting. The Navy dreadnoughts are known for being pretty fucking tanky at this point. So
I mean, I'd test it on regular carriers first to see.
I'd be interested to see what it does to other capitals, but I mean, okay, so you need a few of these to get through a Navy Rev, for example. That's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Like a dreadnought doing enough to alpha through another dreadnought is like not ideal.
Right, and you wouldn't necessarily want one of these things to be able to punch through the shields of another capital, since this is an AOE.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is going to hit. This is going to hit maybe 100 targets at once.
But guys,
depending on how tightly balled it is.
Can't
with
you
the
see...
with the loss of with the reduction of remote reps, the use of this isn't to alpha other dreads. The use of this is to make things like supers vulnerable.
Yeah, so that the faxes can't get to them.
So the faxes are completely ineffective.
You're all missing the big thing about these, right?
I dread this. Go ahead.
Oh, they disable warping. They disable warping and jumping, so goons no longer need tackle.
No. It'll just become goons need to learn how to aim a lance.
Oh no, that could be even worse.
Hard.
No, because aiming a lance is like moving fighters. We've gotten pretty good at that.
You need to tackle because it only lasts 60 seconds. But what it does do is give you 60 seconds to get tackle rather than the 5 it may have taken previously.
It gives you 60 seconds to get more dictors in.
No, it's 60 seconds to do another lance. Come on.
Well, that's true. That's true too. You could have a number of these things sitting around, shooting at us at the center of the same formation, and just keep doing it.
I don't know if people saw the some of the clips from one of the CCP streams, but like I think one of the people we know definitely can't aim a lance is former Pandemic Legion FCs.
I mean, I just want to point out the times we actually lanced a Keepstar to death, and you saw like 5% of them going in the completely wrong direction.
Yep.
Those were that was a fun experiment.
Here's a thought. Does the weapon apply a 50% penalty, or does it apply an effect that effect carries a 50% penalty to incoming remote repair?
Why?
Are you asking?
Because the difference is, if it applies an effect that then reduces incoming remote repair, then if 10 seconds after the first one hits, another one hits, it's just still applying the same effect. But if it actually applies a direct minus 50% reduction,
oh no,
then that can stack.
You can stack them. Shit. And if that's the case, will stacking penalties apply?
Yeah.
Well,
Because if stacking penalties.
Like you're still like the first.
I feel like this is
so with stacking penalties. Just for a sec, Mac. But with stacking penalties, the second stacked the second application of a thing with stacking is still
pretty damn fucking powerful.
87% effective or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a 50% reduction in incoming remote reps.
And then a 43%.
Going to like a 72% remote rep reduction, and then it's like a 66 or something. So that takes you down to somewhere in the region of 80% incoming remote reps, like just wiped out.
Yeah.
3 of these things, if they stack a direct effect, could basically literally turn faxes completely useless.
Not gone.
Yes.
They don't matter.
My point is just if it has the Eve stacking penalties, then after 4, it's not going to get worse, and you can work around it.
Right, but
whilst
if it's
still
applying,
pure suffering.
Applying an effect that then applies all the secondary order impacts, like warp jump drive disabled, can't tether, can't dock, then you could just keep refreshing that.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate waterboarder.
Yeah.
And I use that. And I use that.
As soon as these things are on grid, it's dock up your faction capitals from some people.
And I use that term specifically because that term, like waterboarding, was used in Eve with regards to.
Yep.
Was it the super cap ball that we used, the wrecking ball sort of formation?
The Pandemic Legion's wrecking ball, the waterboarding where they'd just be
where it was basically the only way of being able to actually sort of like screw with the wrecking ball was to actually just tie that wrecking ball down.
Yep. It's also been used in relation to like just waterboarding people as they travel by slowing them down with dicta after dicta after dicta and just you make the entire travel just such a horrendous experience that by the time you've gone 10 jumps, you're already going, have I had enough of this?
And I need to point out here, they did that to us first, right?
So
I mean, to be fair, we did that to ourselves before by just putting out by means of just like for some reason having our particular capital system or our sort of like staging system not be on like a dedicated server or something like that. Like,
hang on a second.
Insert trail of tears.jpg here.
Hang on a second.
Exactly.
I mean, I prefer the name that's been put in chat.
What's up, Orin?
Oh my god. Oh no.
So,
I'm not saying it aloud.
Let's say that your intelligence group gets wind that your enemies are going to be doing a move. A capital and super capital move, right?
Yeah.
So you stage one of these things within lance range of their keep stars or fortizars, right?
Oh no.
They jump in, you've got the 60 seconds of can't tether.
Yeah.
Hit them with this thing, and here's the thing. Decloak, because it's AoE, you don't have to worry about targeting delay.
Oh my god.
Decloak, lance them. Now they've got their jump drives disabled, and they can't tether and dock to get cap back. You write off one T2 capital for each jump, and you've delayed them constantly because they're going to keep looking for the next one.
So, what's the chance that CCP will forget to force you to be in siege to use this thing?
Almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
Why would you need to be in siege?
Simple.
Apparently they put a siege requirement on it.
Jump out.
No, because it's Doomsday, so it disables your jump.
Do we know it does that, Horrendous?
Honestly, I'm fairly certain at this point in time that CCP doesn't ever listen to these particular like episodes. So like, have at it, guys. Like, have at it. Like,
we know they do.
But members of the CSM might.
Look,
you know what would be really evil though?
That's a good point.
Every time I talk to Convict, he's like, "You guys are really mean to us, but we sometimes deserve it." So
Yeah, they definitely watch
This is
it.
back to the rule. Arendis is retired. He needs to keep his mouth shut at least 2 weeks so this thing gets settled and gets broken properly.
I will say that there is an Eve Discord I'm on that has an actual rule in its posted policies that says Arendis is not allowed to give CCP any free ideas.
Or any free red teaming.
Wow.
No quality assurance either. Do not test their stuff for them. At least not until a certain amount of time has passed. So, it's fucked up.
No.
So you know what I've realized would be really evil?
I'm not going to commit to that because quality control is like that's a critical thing, man. Like I understand that sometimes you don't want to have the stupid stuff that you can pull off ruined.
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention Einho like part 2, basically.
Yeah, there's a certain level of come on, this is too bad.
But if it's so bad, the other dudes will find it. Asher will find it, Panda will find it, someone else will find it. It's only the really, really evil, nasty ways of breaking the game that is usually only noticed by people like yourself.
I mean, at the same time, like, how eager are people going to be to throw away T2 Dreads early on? Because it would be throwing it away, like, especially if you do this on a Keepstar. The Keepstar's just going to destroy you.
I mean, really, realistically, nobody's building new Dreads to make T2 Dreads. Like, they're probably just using existing stock, right? So it's really only, like, the T2 materials to build it and the build time. Like, that's really the cost of the T2 Dreads, or of any of the T2 Dreads for the next month, right?
Well, yeah, but there's also a question there of how many existing Dreads that do actual noticeable damage are you going to want to sacrifice to try this new feature?
I mean, Dirk, we've been talking about, like, how, you know, some of the effects might actually be powerful enough that we don't even need to worry about or be concerned about the actual damage that it does.
Yeah, like there's going to need to be a whole lot of testing on this.
I'm just saying, like, first month, how many of the Dreads that you have that you know do this one thing and it does it well, how many of those are going to be worth sacrificing in the face of a thing that you don't really have properly tested yet?
I don't know. I mean,
honestly, as many as it takes to figure out how to take advantage of this shit better than everybody else does.
So long as we have pilots with brains and eyes that can actually, like, you know, line things up and fire things.
Now that's a pretty high bar.
That's the high bar. Yeah.
Right. So here's the other side to this question as well. Is this change is set to go live end of next month? It's slated for like middle of next month.
I thought it was mid.
Do we have skill books for these things yet?
No.
So, like, we can build as many of them as we want when we get hands on.
It's going to need
whatever
new skills for the Lancers. It's going to need new skills for the Doomsday.
But you think, but Dirk, you're thinking like, you know, like last sort of decade kind of Eve. You're not thinking this decade Eve. Like, you know, it's not going to be a case of like spending time to actually to train these skills up. People are just going to literally inject them straight away. Like, they'll have them
There is that.
I mean, they did just give us a bundle of skill points over the last like 20 days.
Yeah, and even if you don't want to buy the actual skill injectors on the market because suddenly the price increases because everybody wants them, you could just go purchase them for cash from CCP anyway.
Gosh, I wonder if that was, like, you know, part of the plan.
Right? Yeah, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. And it goes
I gotta ask here. So
hang on.
I've wanted to jump in with this one a while, and I want to get it in before we go too far. Has anyone considered what happens if there's a pos fight? Is it still an exploit to do bowling?
You mean like
yes,
like
bowling
will the
is an exploit.
AoE will the Lance's AoE affect things inside the pos ship?
No, I mean there is that. I didn't think of that. No, I meant is it still an exploit to do the pause password change, send the dread flying while in siege, and lance the fucking ships as you fly past.
Oh wow, would that be pretty fucking cool? Like literally,
Literally a fucking hit and run.
You literally drive by slicing through like a fleet.
So I gotta ask now. When this doomsday goes off, it has a newt effect, right?
Yeah, to everything around it, yeah.
Yes, including the ship firing the doomsday.
Yes.
So that means that the Caldery and the Galante dread are kind of fucking themselves. Because they have hybrids, so they need the cap.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Huh.
Maybe they'll have better capacitors.
I mean, if you're not like honestly, guys, if you're not setting these as injector dreads, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Truly and honestly.
And also, you know, the idea is that you're going to want to spread these things out and not have them in their own little ball, because otherwise they'd nuke one another.
That's in Canada, right, Soft?
What Caldery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just checking.
We're just gonna lance Calgary as we go now.
And Galante is clearly somewhere in France. Also in Canada, actually.
It could be, it could be French Canada.
So, canoe country.
God. Yeah.
This is where we are helping CCP with the pronunciation of the names.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
We're allowed to do that. That's okay. That's not freebies, really.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So we can QA the names.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Caleb,
That's fine for freebies.
Caleb's instituting rules on how much we can do for CCP at this point.
That's because I need to make sure that we can have some sort of income stream for the show in the future, right? If we're suddenly deplatformed or something.
I'm not going to start doing QA work for CCP.
Well, I think that's a great future for us, right? We can't expect
Eric
to just bankroll all of us in beer money.
So they've done.
Let's put it this way: we don't want CCP to start QAing anything yet. I mean,
so they've
never done it before. Why do it now?
They have QA'd names before. Like they have literally done videos where they've said how certain ships
how to pronounce Zvipel.
Yeah, you know. And it is, and just if you guys are wondering, it is Scimitar.
Oh.
So it's not Scimitar.
It's Scimitar. And if you want to use the shortened version, yes, it is Skimmy.
No, it is clearly Scimitar.
Scimitar.
Yes.
Look, I know you're trying to bug me with this one, but I've dealt with Asher for too long on that.
Oh God.
As long as someone will put me on the penetration team, I'm fine.
Of course we're going to be on the penetration team. Come on.
Oh.
Trying to bring it back to something dirty there, Caleb. Jeez.
I mean, we've established already this show that this is Caleb's free output.
The funny thing is, Caleb could kind of like, you know, at some point decide like, you know what, I'm just going to cut out all of the, you know, sexual innuendo whatsoever. I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to be normal. I'm not going to be anything like that.
And then we'd ask who replaced Caleb.
And it would be a case of like, and he would speak and we would just be thinking he's normal. Like normal, typical, you know, sexual innuendo Caleb. And he would have to relapse.
Well, no, because from all that I know about British comedy, right, even if I was trying to be normal, you will just read it into it.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, you will read it back into it, and even if you're trying to be, you know, trying to go straight, like, you know, go on the straight and narrow, like...
trying to go straight. Caleb can't be straight.
we would just be dragging you back in, dude. You might as well double down.
I just want to give a shout out to Man-Cheetah, okay, for his comment on, non-fungible beer tokens.
No.
God, no.
No.
That's awesome.
No.
Awesome.
Where's the bat? Where's my bat? Somebody needs
Non-fungible beer.
beating.
Like I think Man-Cheetah needs to be sent to horny jail because, like, non-fungible beer tokens can only really mean one thing.
Non-fungible beer, and the beer better be goddamn fungible.
How the hell do you have fungible beer?
I'm just gonna say.
A fungus.
I'm just gonna quote Frank. I'm just gonna quote Frank the Tank. It tastes so good when it touches the lips. It tastes so good on the lips. You guys don't know that, do you?
Do not read anything into that, Mac. Please do not read anything into that.
By the way, for those
Somebody's
who don't
reading
get that
somewhere.
reference, you need to watch Old School, the movie. Okay. Blue, you're my boy, Blue.
Yeah, well,
You guys,
just to point out,
I get the
Eric,
feeling you guys haven't watched that.
Well, I think when it comes to the age of yours and Arendis' references, there's only one in the audience that gets them. It's Man-Cheetah. Everyone else is way too young to understand anything you're talking about.
Okay, guys, if you guys are not watching Old School tonight, you're missing out. You're just gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh. The other good scene is when the guys come into the guy's office and they say, Godfather, we can't get gallon jugs of KY jelly. We can only get these 4-ounce ones. Excellent.
I don't know what you want to do with that jelly, but I'm sure Caleb wants it.
I just don't know how much jelly we were talking about because he was speaking gobbledygook. So I don't know if we have enough for an actual jelly show.
You
need a lot for a slip and slide. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. How much are ounces? Is that like ox heads or what?
Yeah. Leroy, I got to respond. Hey, Frank, it's a little cold out there, huh?
4 ounces is about 120 grams, Caleb.
Isn't ounces a volume?
Ounces both a volume and a weight.
That's not confusing at all. Jesus Christ, America.
Depending on whether
yourself.
Can I fit it into this?
Wow.
Can I fit it into this?
Look, we're not taking any blame for the shit Dirk's spouting there.
I'm just gonna point out. I don't know what the fuck McLeod has there, but that's our new mascot right there, McLeod.
Can I fit it all in here?
Wait, what the hell?
Some of you may recognize one of these if you play something like Tarkov, for example. But yes, I ended up. That was my only other purchase.
And put the most random shit in it.
Yes, I am.
How many Tech 2 dreads can you fit in that? How many Tech 2 dreads can we?
Oh, a hell of those! Like, I mean, I'm not slapping it on the boot, on the bonnet or whatever on the roof. So I don't know how many.
How do you? I mean, I gotta ask now. How is that 3D printer Macarial going?
Yeah, Bard.
My printer hasn't turned up yet, so
I have to. I have to ask, what is slapping the bonnet?
I fucked that up. It was slapping the roof. It was a meme. Like, you can fit so many.
You should ask Caleb what slapping the bonnet looks like.
I can demonstrate if you want. I just need to convince Reed to come on and make sure that she doesn't notice that we're on cam.
The greatest thing about that is you can.
That's going to end poorly for you.
I mean, it's probably about to now that he's said it, Arendis.
Arendis, you can do my eulogy. It's fine.
Realize, Caleb, this was a damn stupid move, wasn't it?
That was dumb, mate.
Man-Cheetah apparently keeps getting timed out by Streamlabs for some fucking reason, but yes, I am the sort of Brit who is able to do the ounce to grams, fluid ounce to milliliters, whatever conversion in my head.
Like
Yes.
every time,
You know what?
every time you say his name, I have that Nelly Furtado song in my head.
Oh my god.
Now we do as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go.
Is that hold on, is that a Nelly frittata or a frittata? Is
I
that
think it's a
frittata?
misheard lyrics, but it's okay.
I don't know. And by
I
the
don't
way,
think there's any
Manchita-
kitty cats in that song, so I'm sorry.
Well, yes, the original song is Man Eater, not Man Cheater, but you can see it would
I
fit.
can-
it would
I
work,
get
it would
there.
work, it would-
I
it
can,
would.
I can.
Did you just say man eater?
Yeah, because that's the lyric.
That's a
the whole-
Hall
he's-
and Oates song.
That's
man.
the song
Hall and
he's
Oates,
talking
baby.
about.
Hall and
Eric,
Oates.
that's the song he's talking about.
But didn't he say Nelly Furtado?
Yes.
Okay, what did you remake a
Used by
classic?
Timberland, I believe.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
It was originally Hall and Oates.
I mean, it was
Eric?
probably originally someone else previous to that as well. Like everything gets remade and redone and edited and stuff. Like that's just how it is nowadays.
Yeah, I'm not that old, Eric.
He's old, but not that old.
What are you, 12? By the way,
Maybe.
original Hall and Oates, baby.
Yeah, like it was written by them, but
Yeah,
Eric,
yeah.
the whole thing where is that did somebody remake blah blah blah.
The answer is yes. The answer is always yes.
Eric, stop being so old.
Yeah. Well, I gotta tell you, I'm like, because last weekend I was in the same position all fucking weekend. I am so uncomfortable sitting in this chair today.
Well, whose fault is that?
It
See,
is-
so
it-
Eric, you need to get so one of the things that I would recommend you do is to get one of the standing desks that raises and lowers. I would recommend that.
Sit-stand desks are the future, yes.
for taco.
I would hit
Yeah.
hit this and
He's
raise
gotta-
the desk, but I'm not quite sure how my internet connection will do with that. And two, you'll just get a regular bare ass shitty wall rather than one with a little bit of RGB in the background. So
I clearly need a massage. That's where I'm at right now. It's just my back.
oh, there
is
we
killing
go.
me.
Definitely dial that up.
So, we are at 25 minutes past the hour into our second hour. So, do we want to talk about the other piece of kind of Eve news that happened this week?
Is there another?
Which was that Goon Swarm Federation finally won something tournament related.
Oh,
What?
right.
Holy
yes,
shit.
Finally,
What?
No, we didn't
Wait, what?
only win something tournament related. We got first place.
Yes, exactly.
In what? The quickest out of the tournament contest?
I mean, we would probably win that too. Yes.
Oi,
That's
oi,
the one
no
that's
shit
the one that
talking.
you guys win all the time.
I'm gonna keep shit talking you until you actually win some matches.
Well, we might have a chance of that this time around. At least one.
So what did you win, Dirk?
So CCP Zealous did a stream where he had some marbles.
Oh, it was a marble
Double
race.
race?
Yeah, it was a marble race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To determine the brackets for the feeder tournament for the 80. And Goonswarm came first.
We were
So it had
top
absolutely
seeds.
nothing to do with actual skill. It was
There was
complete
no
RNG.
skills involved. That explains a lot.
There was also, incidentally, no Goonswarm members involved, right?
Point. Complete RNG. No actual goon swarms touched any aspect of it, and somehow you guys won.
Yeah, we came first, exactly.
No
My
comment.
God.
But yeah, so the seeds for the feeder brackets for the Alliance tournament are out if you care to, take a look at what the Alliance tournament is, or generally we'll be tuning in.
Okay, so I'm sure you guys have checked it out and had a look at like who would potentially be playing against Goonswarm, but how bad is the path?
It's doable.
Right. So here's the weird thing that CCP did with the Alliance tournament feeders, which is the silliest fucking format that I've seen in a little while, I think. But okay, so in the first round there are 16 matches. There are 28 slots all told for teams to win. The first round is 16 matches, 1v1. The winner of that first match goes straight through to the tournament.
Okay.
Our first match is against Snuffed Out. We think that's doable. We think beating Snuffed Out is definitely doable.
It's definitely it's a test.
They don't have a high elo.
From there, if you lose in your first match in the feeders, you then have to win 3 matches on the bounce to get a slot in the feeders from there. So you don't win your first match, you play 3, and if you win all 3 of those, you go into the feeders.
So your previous comment, your previous comment though, right? Although I know what that means, I kind of feel like I need to ask this particular question. How does Elo Knight being high affect this?
Do I really need to explain how Elo ratings work?
I mean, maybe for the audience.
Maybe for the audience, not for me, but for the audience. I'm fairly certain people don't even know what the fucking Elo rating is.
But before we go there, I have to add, this is not where it's over. Because if you lose the first match and then you win 2 matches and you lose the third, you get another chance to redeem yourself.
Yeah, so if you lose in that 4th round, after you've lost the first, you go 1-2 wins, you go into that 4th round match, where if you win that 4th round match, you go into the tournament. If you lose that, you then go into a weird 5th round, which is called the Galente Gamble. Now, I shit you not, this is really fucking weird. Because not only do you have to have a team of 10 people, every ship in that team comp has to be a Galente ship. But it's not decided on the racial Galente ships.
No, it
is decided on the Galente
right?
hull bonus. If a ship has a hull bonus for a Galente racial bonus, you get to fly it. So,
I mean, I kind of feel
for
like,
example,
I kind of feel like it should be almost like, even if the description on the ship references Galente in some way, shape, or form.
That's basically where it gets to, because you can have a Cinnabol in the Galente Gamble.
I mean, why would you? The Cinnabol is absolute trash in tournaments, but you could.
You could do it, exactly. And then from there, there are 3 separate matches. Each match is 2 teams, obviously, and there is only a single slot available to these 6 teams. And the way you get to win that slot is by having the most points killed during a match. It's not a round robin, it's not a group stage or anything. No, the team that kills the most points in their match in one of these 3 Galente Gamble matches goes through to the tournament, and the other 5 go home with nothing.
Wow.
Because, that's a decision.
Time to explain Elo, I guess. So
Elo process the decision that is the Galente Gamble. Go ahead.
Elo is a point system that was devised to rank chess players by some mathematician called, I shit you not, Elo.
Okay.
So it's basically the system determines the strength of both players, and then depending on which one of them wins, the winner gets a certain amount of points, and the loser loses a certain amount of points, depending on if they were equal players or if one was stronger than the other. Right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Some maniac actually tried to do an ELO system for tournament teams. That's me.
He is a known maniac, and I do have to beat him with a cricket bat somewhat regularly.
And another maniac had the grand idea to do it in a fucking spreadsheet instead of just regularly programming it.
Are you talking first person here?
No,
there's a...
That's not me. That's Mac.
there is
That
a
wasn't
maniac.
just Mac that had that idea, though, was it?
Well, it was also Bart. Yes.
And they do get beaten with cricket bats regularly for these silly ideas.
It was just a suggestion, right? Like I didn't expect.
Oh no! You don't get to like. No, you can't talk your way out of that with "it's just a suggestion." No. You sit there and you bear your part of the responsibility.
I'm just the ideas man, okay? I'm the ideas man. You guys are the doers. I'm the sort of like what ifs, you know?
You can't throw a dumb idea into a room full of goons. That's not an idea now. That's a plan now.
But yeah, we have since abandoned the ELO rating because it was made to
technical
calculate
feasibility issues.
No, not feasibility. It's like it's actually super easy now that the spreadsheet is working to just plug more data in. The problem is that it is a system made to gauge two players playing each other, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
And in Eve, you have teams playing against each other. So it kind of doesn't work how it's supposed to work. And that's why
that was the entire point that we were working on Captain ELO rather than Team ELO, because it's, yeah. Soft is continuing to work on an even more, like, insane idea that will do something similar, but not.
Hey,
why am I not surprised?
Actually, I have found out that it is less insane because there is something called True Skill, which is what Microsoft uses to do MMR ratings for all of their games. There is actually an open source implementation of this where you just have to plug in the players and it does all the math for you. So it's actually simpler.
An open source version of a Microsoft product.
Yeah, yes.
So it's probably the bit where the bit where you said it was less insane, and then you went open source Microsoft.
Amazingly enough, open source Microsoft is actually better than Microsoft.
Yes.
Well, that's not amazing.
But yeah, if you guys played games like Halo, for example, Halo uses True Skill. Rainbow Six Siege uses True Skill. Which I know it's not a Microsoft game, but they use it. And basically any other multiplayer game with a matchmaking system from Microsoft uses True Skill, right? And it makes things a lot easier that you just have to be like, hey, these players are playing these players, do the math for me.
I mean, I half kind of think that, like, you know, you're just developing the system so you know exactly who to bet on.
Would we ever?
No.
That doesn't sound honest.
What an incredible accusation that is.
Well, it might be projection. It might be why he helps out.
Why would we ever want to know who we should bet on in any given scenario? I mean, that just seems...
It's just easier work than developing a time machine to go forward in time and get the, you know, sports almanac, right?
Well, exactly.
Just saying. And if you get the reference, I'm proud of you.
Squirrel.
But yeah, so AT is coming up in around about a month. The first weekend of the AT feeders are on June 24th and 25th. And yeah, it will be either a fun time or not.
Or a very short time.
Depending on how that one goes.
It'll be a fun time, or there'll be, I imagine, ship posts on our /Eve from the usual suspects.
It will be a fun time, or Dirk will be drinking a hell of a lot, and that's how that one's gonna go.
Yeah.
By the way, Dirk, I have been asked to relay something to you by multiple people, actually. They are all asking me, or asking you, if you could please knock Snuffed out of the tournament, please.
Well, we can't guarantee that.
I mean,
because
you've jinxed it now.
Even if we beat Snuff, they still have,
about 500 different ways of getting back in. Seems.
They could still do it, but we will do our best to knock them into that losers bracket in the feeders. Yes, that's fine. We can absolutely do our best to knock them into the losers bracket of the feeders. Not least because it means we don't have to play fucking 3 different fucking tournament formats in 2 weekends as well. It's good for us too. Anyway, on that note, we are... Is that 48 minutes past the hour, or just 40 minutes past the hour?
40.
Oh, that didn't take long. See? Stuff and I can get through a tournament segment pretty quick. We can rattle through.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Nobody's ever doubted your ability to rattle on.
At all.
This is also very true.
The man has a point.
Peace, calm. It's a very rare thing on this show.
Peace and calm.
Yeah.
So is there another topic? Or have we got 20 minutes of dead air?
Just
dead air, baby.
Do you want to dare? Just 24 minutes of dead air, just to see who can crack first.
I mean, we could
I got
go
a mute
into.
button. It'll be easy.
We could go into 5 more hypothetical ways CCP could fuck up this upcoming patch.
Only 5.
5?
I mean,
well, we don't have time for more.
Fair.
We could be here all day.
It's really not a hypothetical, right? It's really just a factual. We know that something is going to be fucked up once they actually push it.
I mean,
the question
doesn't
isn't
be hypotheticals. It could be based on previous actions. Like they could just accidentally delete boot.ini again.
What do you mean accidentally?
It's fine. They'll just put Jita in a can again, and yeah.
They could do both at the same time.
Well, maybe if they do something really bad to the graphics side, so only the extreme high-end NVIDIA cards survive, they could have a double function and actually help NVIDIA with pushing their new stuff.
Oh God. Do we even need?
Don't give Hilmar any ideas.
Do we even go into this?
This was baked for Mac, in case he wanted to talk about it.
I mean, Bard Ghost as well, because Bard Ghost is very much
doesn't matter. Don't give Hilmar any ideas. As soon as you said partner with, that went from wow, that'd be terrible to
that's an idea.
Money.
Well, considering how bad the ideas from Hilmar has been lately, even the worst.
Hold it. Lately?
I mean,
ever.
Don't give him opportunity to one-up himself.
He did pretty well coding the market.
Which
Really?
was 22 years ago or something.
That's fine, but Eric said ever.
That's true.
And to be fair, coding the market isn't designing the market.
There you go.
I mean, and really, really coding the market. Like he just copied the market from an actual market app that was already around. So like, it's not like he came up with it himself, like through divination or like
You're
kind of actual
hilarious, Mac.
creativity.
Mac, you're fucking hilarious. A market app that was already around in 2002.
I mean, I don't mean like I don't mean like specifically on your phone or something like that, but it was like, you know, a program of some form. Like we use the term app and program quite interchangeably these days.
It was an application.
We did not use the term app, really.
These days, maybe not in 2002.
Application.
Not into, yeah, but what I mean by like using them interchangeably is in now we generally tend to like
Let's
not in
just say that
2002, not in
Aridis is
2002.
trying to help you and explain that
But
back then, if you used the term selfie, it might have meant something completely different.
I understand that like this kind of like this social group that we have is based on, you know, pedanticism. So, you know, that's fine.
Yeah, that's like the word of the show.
No, that's just a fringe benefit.
Realistically, we wouldn't all get along if we weren't all pedantic.
It's really based on bitching.
Yeah. I mean, one and the same. Bitching, pedanticism.
We wouldn't be friends if we couldn't all take some light pedanticism in stride.
True. And I've learned that on the show myself.
Pedanticisms.
by Arendis literally trolling me off the show.
That's a feature.
I am sorry about that. That was.
I needed it, man. If anything,
that was one of the funniest moments we've had in the last 5 years.
I was being far too serious for the show. Like,
the golden thing about that is that Ladbrokes did not have that on the sheet, right? They did not expect that the British sarcasm dude would be the one that got sarcasmed out.
It wasn't on the bingo card.
It was not. It was not in the. No one had that. Yeah. This was more rigged than the fucking Eurovision last.
Oh, let's not even get into that. Jesus. Finland was robbed.
I can't get into the Eurovision.
Oh my God! You've tiptoed into it. Okay, you're tiptoeing into actual football, what you guys call soccer. So you have started tiptoeing in. Next year, you are going to join us for Eurovision, and we will give you a soft introduction. It's going to be a great one because it's going to be the Jubilee thing for ABBA, which is also most likely where the money for buying the judges came from.
So question for you: what do you mean tiptoeing into football or soccer? Hey, explain that to me.
Well, you were just pitching that. Was it an unscripted show with a soccer club thing?
I was playing soccer in fucking 4th grade.
Also, what do you mean Finland was robbed? Fucking Moldova was robbed.
Look, Flute Dwarf deserved better. Yes. Nobody can deny that. Nobody can deny that Flute Dwarf deserved better.
He definitely deserved better.
I do not know how you selected that chick as the winner. I mean, that was fucking atrocious and terrible.
You can blame the Eurovision judging panel. Yeah.
Look, I'll tell Eric. I will tell you exactly. Why all of the fucking jury votes went that way.
Yeah.
It's because of Turkey.
Okay.
Because it was coming down. Look, it was clearly coming down to Sweden and Finland. All right. And one of them got into NATO, the other won Eurovision.
There you go. Just give up.
We watched the winner, and we said Europe isn't allowed to produce music anymore.
Yeah,
that is a fair point. But Caleb mentioned something about a soft entry to Eurovision for Eric. I mean, there is no soft entry to Eurovision. It's only a matter of how quickly you die from alcohol poisoning.
Good God! Oh my God! Jesus!
By the way,
how far did we eclipse last year?
Like him.
Oh, like by 100 drinks.
Yeah, last year was about 180. This year was
Fucking hell.
292.
Wow.
This was insane. Eric, best advice I ever got in my life was when Eurovision drinking game with these fucking maniacs. Take a drink means sip.
Yes. It's very true.
I will commit.
I will say,
right
the
now.
only. Go ahead. If you're going to commit,
I will commit right now. I will watch Eurovision with you guys next time.
Ideally, you need to drink in the
And
same
by the
manner
way-
that you do coffee tasting. So just a spoon, you dip it into the drink, and then you just slurp it, and then you just spit most of it out. And then you might survive.
Yeah, are you, Eric? I'm saying this right now. You're not mixing up a Stevie Wonder for any of the drinks,
dude. I was fucked up the next day.
I
was fucked up the next evening.
Remember, Eric has. Oh, well, I'll tell you later. I have to be careful what I do.
I know.
Exactly.
I will say the only down your drink moment we had was for a Croatian Nazi, which is still a comment on our drinking game sheet that I need to go back and figure out exactly what point in the song we decided that was proper commentary.
There was definitely some commentary about gay Hitler.
The down your drink happened about halfway through, so.
Yeah, because it took us that long to believe that it was actually happening.
By the way, since you guys said gay Hitler, right? I have to say, have you guys ever watched the musical The Producers?
Yeah, I've heard.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay,
this wasn't really the musical though. This was a different take on it whatsoever. Like,
I will tell you, I actually like the Israeli chick that I saw the best. Actually,
they were bland. Israel only got like 3 drinks.
I know, but I mean, I like the song. I thought it was pretty cool. The video.
I mean, you can never really say that this or that song deserved to win. What you definitely can always say at Eurovision is that certain songs definitely deserve better, right?
Well, you can say that some of them deserve better, and you can say that some of them deserved to lose.
Like Germany really deserved better this year.
No,
Germany deserved a better song this year.
Germany didn't bring Eskimo Callboy, so they definitely deserve to not win.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
They didn't apply this year.
Oh, they did.
They got burned last year, didn't they?
They applied last year. They didn't apply this year.
Oh, all right then. All right.
Eskimo who?
Eskimo Callboy.
Well, they are now called Electric Callboy because
they decided that was a bit rude. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'm pretty sure
Callboy.
I'm pretty sure you still find their music if you look for Eskimo Callboy.
Yeah, I think you do.
Let me check.
I mean, if you just come along to a Friday night, Eric, you'll eventually hear some Electric Callboy.
You actually still find them.
Amongst other things.
Hey, look, we don't talk about the other things.
Yeah.
Well,
let people find out
if
for
I remember
themselves.
correctly, knowing Eric's interests, I'm not entirely sure that he would be put off by any of Whippler's DJing. I think he might actually appreciate a lot of it.
Now I have that bass line stuck in my head. You know exactly which one.
Yeah, see, we don't talk about the other things. But Eric should come along and see what we get up to on a Friday night.
We got Whippler does that thing with the brass band thing with green uniforms and destination thing. That it's very much up Eric's alley. I think Eric would really appreciate it.
It also gets very smoky.
It does generally get quite smoky quite often.
Yeah, then he might need some soap for his eyes, I think.
There's also a lot of culture involved.
Yes.
Yeah.
High culture.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it's a long weekend, so I guess it's Friday number 2 tonight.
Well,
yeah.
I suppose we could do, yeah.
Does this week have 2 Fridays? Is that what you're saying?
I mean,
Actually,
it's-
it's
It is a bank holiday.
See,
It's a bank
this is
holiday. I have Gin left.
yeah.
We go.
You either go Friday number 2 or you go Recovery Monday. Like it's one or the other, typically.
There you go. I have to go see my niece in her musical tonight. So.
Ah,
Which
You have
musical
fun
are
with
they
that.
doing?
I mean, if we're doing
I-
Friday number 2, it's almost certain that we will be around by the time you get back.
Please don't put me on the spot like that. 'Cause I actually don't know, but I'm pretty sure she has the lead, so I don't know.
Okay, that's double bad, Eric. She's got the lead,
Well-
and you don't know which show musical you're going to see.
I know. It's terrible,
Wow.
isn't it?
mm.
Well, I was a lot of commission this week, so yeah.
That's
Where
what you are.
where is she performing? Like, is it a school thing or?
No, it is. She goes to I don't know, lessons. So it's their dance and acting school.
Ah, that's cool.
So it's
yeah.
for dance and acting school, but it's not a school thing.
Right. It's not like her. She's going to be a freshman next year in high school, so it's not like high school or middle school. It's we can't have our kids go to school to learn everything. We go send them to do extracurricular thing with private coaches and shit. It's just
Maybe you do.
My sister does. My daughter just does cheerleading. She has her own cheerleading coach and all that crap. So we should find out next week too what team she made. So that'll be fun. Oh yeah, girl wants to fly in a plane and stay in hotels and go to Florida. So of course she joins the full travel team that does that. So her mom doesn't say no. So
Yeah, I mean, that's a parental. Hey, you should have said no when you had the chance.
Yeah. There's not a lot of no here.
But anyway, I actually do need to disappear off because I have a practice.
Well, I mean,
I have practice.
Do your one last thing.
In all honesty, can you wait like 3 minutes? Like, I mean, you can even do your one last thing. Like, you're doing practice. Like,
yeah,
do you want to do shout outs?
Practicing to knock snuffed out of the Alliance tournament. That's what we're going to be practicing to do.
You're practicing to snuffed out.
Exactly. So we need to spend some time actually making sure that we can do that for the people that Soft has spoken to. So
see it this way. They can't drop a signer and drop rats on you. So
yeah, but nor can we.
That's true.
It's always a comment, But yeah, so I need to dip out and go deal with that for the next couple of hours, and then Friday part 2.
That's fair enough, dude. Like, go for it.
I will see you guys a little bit later on.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we might as well go down the list, like, shout outs, like last things we didn't cover, things you wanted to sort of say, whatever. Like, horrendous, anything you want to say? End of the show.
I look forward to the dominance of the Nagelnado.
The good old Nagelnado.
And we definitely do now need destroyers that use medium guns.
Oh god.
We're
Battleships
doing
use
a
dreadnought
big
guns.
gun thing now.
And
we ever do, actually.
All right,
That's a
Bard.
good idea, actually.
Bard, anything you want to add?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
All good.
I don't know. This week's been quiet. I presume there's more dev blocks coming from CCP soon. Which could be interesting.
I mean, I imagine so. On the run up to the expansion, right?
Yeah, it feels very much like what they've shown us so far was the stuff they hinted and wanted to show first, and they got something bigger waiting. Yes, they do have something bigger waiting, sorry, because they've spoken about Homefront sites, which sound odd.
Ah, right, okay.
Possibly new combat sites for HiSec?
Maybe.
Or am I just getting my hopes up again like normal, Caleb?
I would say it's probably new stuff for faction warfare.
Yeah, right, but Homefront to me would imply it's in Empire space.
Meh.
Like, it's not in the combat areas, it's in the Empires.
We'll see.
Could be interesting.
True.
Could be. Who's up next?
Caleb.
I think it's my turn.
Yes.
I have a slight, potentially piece of bad news. I might be cheating on you guys next weekend because I don't know what the English word is for this. I'm going to one of those big farmers meet thing where they show off all the prize animals and stuff.
Over here, we call that a state fair.
I know what I can call it. It's a Sophosil orgy.
Over here, we'd call that a state fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same thing basically.
Do you have a goat, Caleb, or something?
I'm not bringing any animals myself. No, because I don't have any. I might bring some home if I can sneak them past the missus.
Is she going?
Yes, she will be my what do you call that? Nurse?
Minder?
Your mind.
I'd call it. She's taking a prize, Caleb.
Caretaker is a better word.
The only state fair I've ever seen was on A Million Ways to Die in the West, and what I would recommend you do is stay away from the photo booths.
I'm only going to start getting very scared if she throws me into one of those tent things and a lady comes out with one of those weird double-sized fleshlight thingies.
What the fuck?
What?
That went sideways fast.
What the fuck?
Right.
They're the ones they do use for the horses.
I demand pictures. I demand pictures.
I can get you pictures. I know there's pictures I've seen online before. I will find that picture and I will show you.
Don't post it into chat, please. Just PM or something like But let's not put the channel into disrepute.
It's been posted a few times on 9gag in the not safe for work.
Well, this is 9gag, but that's 9gag.
So you can see the device. It's a very impressive device.
Okay.
This is more like some people gagging instead at this point.
Oh,
so that's what I will be doing all weekend next weekend. Well, not getting milked, but
maybe
looking at animals and stuff.
Maybe gagging is the wrong choice of word there, Whippler.
Oh God.
I think it's the reverse of.
Oh.
Itching, maybe.
Right, returning back to sanity, Eric, do you have anything you want to say for the end of the show?
No, I don't think I have a one last stream today.
Did I kill
Other than, you know what, I am gonna.
I don't think anybody's gonna top that, Caleb. So
I'm gonna.
I have something.
I'm gonna do one thing because we all play a lot of video games. We all sit at our desks for long hours. Some of us even work from home. Do not forget, this is very important. Do not forget every once in a while, a couple times a day, get up, walk around for 10, 15 minutes. If you are somebody who is at a desk all the time, sitting there kind of being stagnant. So that's about it. It's my one last thing.
Very sage advice for sure. Soth?
Yeah, I thought about saying something about the upcoming Diablo launch, but that would probably turn out into like a half an hour rant on its own.
Right.
Just a reminder for people that are interested in such a thing. The launch is in 6 days. for people who pay extra money for it. Otherwise, you have to wait until the 6th. So, see you then, I guess.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. And of course, Wibbler.
Well, you know. Happy weekend.
Oh, Christ. That's going to be a fun night. It's going to be a fun Friday part 2. Anyway, unfortunately, I mean, just to round the show out, like, thank you very much for everybody who, everybody listening, all the subs, all the follows, and all that jazz. Very much appreciate it. Unfortunately, the Meta Show isn't going to be on this weekend because Brusk is like partying in Amsterdam, I believe. So, they will probably be back. I think maybe next week, potentially next week, probably next week.
Yep.
We'll see. Anyway,
It
but
absolutely looks like they're having a great time.
Yeah, go enjoy your weekend. Thank you very much for chilling out with us. And obviously, the same sort of shows will be coming back to you next week. So check out Theta Thursday on Thursday/Friday, depending on your time zone. We'll be back same time next week, and Meta Show will probably be back next week as well. So yeah, because I didn't get the opportunity to actually play it at the start of the show, I'm gonna play it at the end of the show. So we'll end with this in particular.
It's Hotdrop'o'clock!